This is Appalling News. I'm Paul Chatham. British intelligence says that Canada's cyber spies are at the head of the pack. A 5-year study by the British House of Commons Intelligence and Security Committee said Canada plays a leading role in cybersecurity in the Five Eyes intelligence partnership. Clearly, one partner is missing an eye. As an IT geek with extensive experience yanking my cables, my first thought was that whatever was working 5 years ago perhaps is not working now. Cybercriminals are adapting constantly and quickly. My advice, if you're going to do a cybersecurity study, you should finish it off the same day. However, the findings are not all rosy. A warning by the Business Council of Canada earlier this year that Canada risks being seen as a weak link by its allies if it does not move swiftly to mitigate economic security threats. A Chinese spy told Appalling News that Canada does not face any risk from corporate espionage because Canada has no industries worth spying on. Here's an update to my recent free speech report. The president of the University of Pennsylvania, Liz McGill, has resigned due to her controversial performance at the recent congressional hearings on why are Jews so touchy when people call for their death. All three presidents, including Sally Kornbluth of MIT and Claudine Gay of Harvard, performed equally poorly, but only McGill to date has resigned. There are 4 people in this picture. I don't know who the one second from the right is, but they do look a lot like Eddie Izzard. Frankly, we all could have used a laugh during that tense hearing. There is another controversy surrounding Dr. Gay. Really far-right activist, almost Hitler, Christopher Rufo, has accused Gay of plagiarizing her doctoral thesis. By the way, news organizations are required to only point out right-wing individuals, and if I mention anti-Semitism, I also have to mention Islamophobia. I just have to. Rufo's Twitter X posts offer some damning evidence, but the Daily Beast, a totally neutral, not far left at all news organization, published that Gay's thesis advisor shot down plagiarism accusations. Appalling News will be keeping an eye on this. In an ongoing story updated recently by Rebel News, which has gone viral on Twitter X, at a recent swim meet at the East Bayfield Community Centre in Barrie, Ontario, ironically called the Trojan Cup swimming competition, a 50-year-old male-bodied individual who IDs as a woman swam in the 12 to 14-year-old girls category and was allowed to change in the girls' change room in front of 13-year-old girls. What really disgusts this reporter is, how did a 50-year-old get to compete in the young teen category? Riley Gaines, famous for her stance against male-bodied Leah Thomas, warned about trans ageism. Apparently, in this great country of ours, we can also now self-ID as a different age, which this swimmer has done. The government needs to tell us about this stuff. The question I have, is them also age fluid? Because you can see them getting into a car. The minimum age to get a driver's license here in Ontario is 16 years old. Did them, at that very moment, them got behind the wheel transition back to 50? If the police caught them driving while them was 13, then that would be a ticket for sure. And as you can see here, them is also a professor at the Department of Psychology at York University, the lowest-ranked campus in Toronto. Them heads the Cognitive Flexibility Lab. Of that, we have no illusions. But how can them be teaching a class if they are 13? Wouldn't them have to be attending high school? It's all so confusing for the fluidly aged. If I identify as 40, Will it stop me from having to get up 3 times in the evening to go pee? This has been appalling news. And
I just saw Godzilla. I went in and asked for a children's ticket, but the lady behind the counter said that I'd actually save money if I went in as a senior, so I transitioned back into a senior. This has been appalling news, and that's the way it is.